Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be my capsule handbag collection. So I've got 6 handbags, 3 different product categories, which I think work really well for me in my wardrobe. I've whittled down my collection massively. In the past I used to have so many bags, some used more than others. I think that's like a lot of people, and I've managed to sort of whittle it down to these 6, and I think these 6 work perfectly for my day-to-day, my lifestyle and my style in general. So if that's something you're interested in, do keep watching. It's, I think, a good starting point for anybody who's looking to sort of downsize and kind of just reduce the amount of bags that they have in their wardrobe. If you enjoyed the video, please do thumbs up and do subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to check out the rest of the videos in my capsule wardrobe series. I'm going to stop talking now. I'm just going to crack on with the first bag. The first category for me in terms of bags, I would say, would be the carry all tote. So I carry a lot of stuff a lot of the time. It's kind of changed slightly as I've become a new mum, because I carry a lot of the baby stuff in his baby change bag, and I tend to kind of want more crossbody kind of type of bags, just because I need my hands free for the baby and all sorts of things, like, you know, pushing a pushchair, that kind of thing. So the need for carrying lots and lots and lots of stuff has reduced slightly, but when I do get a chance, I still do fill my tote bags up quite a lot. And sometimes I find if I'm only nipping somewhere with him, like to a small class or something that's nearby, I don't want to have to carry lots of different bags, so I kind of throw his essentials into my tote. So it's kind of handy for me and my lifestyle to have a couple of big bags that I can throw everything into. So that said, the first bag I'm going to talk about is my Everlane Market Day tote. So it's this one here. I got it in the cognac colour because it was replacing another very similarly coloured bag I had previously, so I wanted a sort of like for like replacement. This bag has not got a lot to it, which I absolutely love. That's probably going to be a common theme as you see going through my bags. They're not sort of all singing or dancing, they're quite classic, which works very well within a capsule wardrobe. It's got nice soft leather and it's quite unstructured. The only structured sort of feature of this bag is the base. As you can see, it hasn't got any of those metal bits at the bottom where when you put the bag down it kind of stands on those rather than base, which is a little bit of a shame, but it's still quite structured here, so you can pop the bag down and it doesn't collapse. On the inside of the bag there literally just is this one pocket here that's quite deep. You can fit sort of your mobile phone and a few key bits in there, which is quite good. Other than that, there's nothing inside. It's unlined. It's just very, very unstructured. So this is a bag that I bought to replace another bag in my collection, something that I wore all the time. It was a tan bag I got from Marks & Spencer years back, and I wore it all the time, and I knew that replacing it with another like for like type of bag would mean I would still get a lot of wear out of this one. I'm really looking forward to it becoming a lot more worn and the leather becoming a lot less pristine, because that's what I like in a bag. But generally I'm really happy with this, and I know I will wear this a lot. And I also really like the length of the straps, because I can then just wear it underneath my arm as well. Sometimes a strap can be a little bit short and you have to end up carrying the bag like this, which is totally impractical for me. So yes, this is the first bag in my collection. A cognac or tan coloured tote is a perfect start for me. The second bag is this black tote bag from COS. This is also in leather, and it's again quite a nice big size, but this one is more vertically inclined, whereas the other one was horizontally inclined in length. I normally go for vertically shaped bags more than horizontal ones, but I've heard a lot about the Everlane tote and really wanted to try it out for myself, and I hadn't found a vertical shaped bag in that colour that I really, really liked, so it was kind of like a small sacrifice I had to make. For me, a black bag is an essential. As you know, my capsule wardrobe tends to be quite classic in colours. I don't tend to venture out too much in colours and prints, so this is probably the craziest I'll go in a print. And so a black bag and a tan bag work well with everything in my wardrobe. You know, blues, greys, we'll say navies, not many blues. Navy, grey, white, black goes really well with tan. And it obviously goes with black. So that's where my head is at in terms of when I'm buying my bags as well. It's like, will it go with everything that I've got in my wardrobe, or will I have to only wear it with a certain few outfits? So this, back to this bag, it's this kind of pebbled leather, so it's got a little bit of texture to it, which actually is something I've only started getting into quite recently. A lot of my preferences for my bags in the past have been that very smooth leather like the bag I just showed you, but actually I don't mind a bit of texture on my bags, particularly as they tend to be very plain and not all singing or dancing. Kind of nice to have something else going on. We've got just this front pocket here with the gold hardware, and I like the fact that it's zipped, so it's a little bit more secure, and it's pretty deep, so you can fit, again, things you want to get to quite easily in here. And as I said, it's got a zipped compartment, and that's got gold hardware, which tends to be my favourites. On the inside then, you've got another zipped pocket, and this one is also reasonably sized. Again, it goes quite far down into the bag, so again you can fit a lot of stuff in there if you are like me and carry quite a bit. And again, it's nice the fact that it's zipped. The bag is lined with cotton, which I think is really nice as well. So yes, this bag is a bit more pricey. I think it's about £115, but you can see with the hardware and the deep pockets and the lining where that money is going to in terms of the product development of it. I also like the fact that it kind of folds in on itself here, so it's not got, I think it has got magnets, in fact, yeah, magnetic sort of poppers on the inside that you can't see, they're invisible, and so it kind of folds in on itself there, which I think is kind of cool. Again, the strap length is long enough for me to be able to put it underneath my arm, which is very practical for me. This would be a great bag as well if you're sort of, you know, working from home, or you're you know, ferrying a laptop back and forth to work or to coffee shops and stuff like that. You can probably fit a laptop in here, and it's just really durable, heavy leather. So I really like this, and as I said, it was from COS. It was about £115. I think they still do have it in stock, so I will link that down for you. So for me, these two tote bags are the foundation of my collection. They are, you know, carry all day, all-purpose type of totes that I can throw a load of stuff into and sort of be on my way. Next up, we move on to a category which I call handbags that can be worn as crossbodies. So as I said, I need some crossbody bags just because I need my hands to be free, and I think that's the key with when you're creating your own collection for yourself. It's kind of, you know, if you're somebody who can strut down the street in your heels and your clutch every day, that's perfectly fine. Have more clutches in your collection. And I read a blog piece from the Minimalist Wardrobe, which I will link down in the description for you, because I think it's very, very important, and it's quite key and quite helpful, because I think sometimes you feel very guilty about having more than one type of something in your wardrobe, whereas I know that I do, particularly as I'm trying to work out what all this capsule stuff is about. I can kind of feel a bit guilty if I've got more than one crossbody in my collection. Or actually the article was saying, you know, it doesn't matter, don't be afraid to have more than one of the same thing in your wardrobe if you know you're going to get wear out of it, and if it's something that you wear a lot or that you use a lot. And I think that's key. So I have 3 bags in my collection that are handbags that can be used across the body, and I don't feel bad about that at all. I think they all have a different use for me, and I use them all, so I don't feel bad about it. And I think that's something that you should remember. As long as you're not excessive with it and you have like 12 of one piece, you know, don't feel afraid to buy more than one item. Like I've got 2 tote bags, 3 of these, and then you know, because I know I use them, so don't feel bad about that. And as I said, I'll link that article down for you guys to read below if you're interested. Back to the bags then. You'll have seen this A.P.C half moon bag everywhere when with me in particular, all over my Instagram. I've mentioned it many times on my channel. I've got videos about it. This is probably my most used handbag, I would say, which is interesting because of the size. I didn't think my most used bag would be such a small bag in comparison to my totes, but as I said, things have changed, trends have changed a bit, and I've kind of rolled with that. And this bag actually does carry quite a lot of stuff in it, so, you know, that's why it's my most used bag at the moment. It fits my phone, I fit an umbrella in here, I fit just loads of stuff in here. It's very practical for me, but also it fits what I need it to fit in it. So, you know, this is definitely one of the bags that I would say is an absolute essential for me. And I just really love it. Again, it was a bit more pricey, and I think there are alternatives I've seen sort of knocking about in this shape on the high street, which I'll link for you guys to see. It's a very simple bag. Again, just your gold detail here with the zip, a lot of gold hardware on it. You've got some studs here and some studs here, and then all you've got here is just the A.P.C logo, and that's it. There's nothing on the back. The bag scratches somewhat when you first use it, but actually those scratches haven't sort of increased massively from when it was smooth leather to now. Like, this is all that the use I've had out of it, and the scratches I've got on it over a year or so, so it's not bad at all. It still looks pretty pristine to me. The good thing about it as well is that I can fill it quite full and it doesn't lose its shape. So with the bag I'm going to show you next, I can definitely see it losing its leather shape and kind of stuff jutting out of it if I stuff it too much. Whereas this, because the leather is quite hard, it's quite durable, you don't see, you know, pens or anything kind of distorting the shape, which I think is really, really good. So this is a bag that I couldn't do without in my collection. I think if anything happened to it and I couldn't restore it, I would definitely replace it. So a bag I would recommend, and that's the first of my handbags. When I say handbags that can be worn as crossbodies, it's the first of my bags that I can wear sort of like this on my shoulder, but then equally sort of pop across and wear as a crossbody. So that's the first out of 3. So then we move on to my Celine trio, which I do keep in its dust bag. Now you might be thinking this is very similar to the A.P.C bag, so why have I got 2 of the same type of bag? But to me, I think the end use is very different for these 2 bags. So as I said before, the A.P.C is more of a day-to-day bag. It's a bit more durable. This one I wouldn't wear on a day-to-day just because I don't think it would wear as well in terms of how I tend to use my bags. The good thing about this bag is that it is multi-purpose, so I can unpop this here and just use this front section here as a clutch, or I can unpop the middle section and take off the back pocket and just use this smaller sized handbag with the 2 pockets as a little going out handbag. And so it's a great multi-purpose bag. Because I don't want to have another bag in my occasion wear capsule collection, because I don't go out that much in the sense that I need to have other bags for going out. And my going out capsule, as you might have seen, and I'll link it up for you guys to see if you haven't seen it already, a black bag goes with everything in it. So I'd be very happy to use this bag as it is as a going out bag, or just use it as a clutch. And it would match everything in that wardrobe. So it's a multi-purpose bag. It's a bag that I would not use on a day-to-day, but it would be nice to use if I'm going for, you know, just a coffee or something and I don't need to have a load of stuff with me, either for the baby or just because I need to carry loads of stuff that day. It's something that I would just use some more sparingly, which is why the A.P.C bag and this bag, in my opinion, are different. So I will link any alternatives I can find below for you that are a bit more affordable than this one. And I think it will just be, it might be something that you're looking for in terms of just a nice lightweight soft leather crossbody, if that's what you're into. Or if you like the more structured type of bag, then you can definitely go for the A.P.C bag instead. And then the last bag in my collection, which can be worn as a handbag or a crossbody, is my Mulberry Tenby bag, which I've also done a video on, which I will link up here for you guys to see. I love the shade of this bag, and that's the clear obvious difference between this one and the other 2 I've shown you. Of course, also the shape is different, and it's a nice mid-sized bag. So there is a smaller size to this, but again, I thought, you know what, I'd prefer to use the larger size just because, you know, I can fit more stuff in it. It's a bit more practical for me. Again, I like the shade because it kind of complements everything in my wardrobe. It complements navy, it goes with white, it goes with black, it goes with grey, it even goes with the prints that are in my wardrobe. So as you can see here, it goes nicely with the snakeskin blouse. And as I said before, it's really key when you are curating your own handbag capsule to make sure that, you know, you can pick up a bag and it works with everything that's in your wardrobe clothing wise, because it's just really important that you're not having items that are just hanging around and that you can hardly ever use them and only use them with 1 or 2 pieces in your wardrobe. So I was really pleased with this because it works with everything. I can also use it as a top handle bag, so if I'm feeling a little bit sassy, I can carry my bag this way. Though those days are a little bit few and far between nowadays for me, but I don't tend to have my hands free as much as I used to. But yeah, I can carry it like this, which I quite like as well. It's got a pocket on the back, which is nice. You can kind of slip easy bits and pieces into there that you need to capture quite quickly. Then it just unclasps like this. On the inside, it's just got 1 pocket here, which is functional, and then it's got the main pocket on the inside and then a pocket there. So it's actually gotten quite a lot of space for you to be able to fit quite a bit in it. It's reasonably heavy, I would say, when you fill it up because it's quite structured. It's not heavy as such when it's quite empty, but the more you fill it, the heavier it gets. But again, it's that nice structured shape, which I really like. I think it's quite ladylike, I think it's quite classic, and I don't think it's going to date. It's not too trendy. Again, it's got that whole pebbled leather look like the COS bag I showed you, which I quite like as well. And it's got the gold hardware, sort of the Mulberry print on the back and on the buckle here. So that's that one, and that's the third bag in my collection. That's a handbag that can be used as a crossbody. They all have extendable straps as well, which I forgot to mention, which I think is quite important, just because it's nice to be able to have that flexibility in terms of length of the straps that you like. And yeah, I'll link again this one down below. I don't know if they've got this colour anymore, but they do have tan, black, oxblood and other colours, so I'll link as close as I can find to this actual bag, and then any alternatives for you guys as well. And then finally, to finish it all off, I have one other item that I think for me is quite an essential in my capsule handbag collection, and that's a backpack. So you might not have been expecting that, but the backpack that I have is from Whistles, and I love it because it's very kind of mushy and again quite lightweight, and it's just so soft now, the leather, that I've used it quite a lot. Again, it's that pebbled kind of leather, which was on the COS bag and was on the Mulberry bag, which is quite nice. It's got the Whistles logo just here, which you can't really see because it's embossed in the black leather, which again I really like. You can see, as I said before, all my bags are quite understated in terms of branding. Most of them are branded, but you can't see any of that, which I really like. It's very soft leather, as I said. You've got the extendable buckled straps at the back, and it's got the Whistles branding sort of on all the hardware here and on the zip here. For me, a backpack was essential in my collection because I used to work in London, and I would be carrying quite a lot of stuff sometimes to work, so it was quite nice for me to bear the load on both of my shoulders. Now that I am a mum, it's kind of handy for me just to have a backpack sometimes, particularly when we're travelling. I tend to use this a lot as my hand luggage. Not my hand luggage, but you know when you can have an extra bag when you're travelling. I find it a lot easier to have that to be a backpack. So I tend to use this a lot when I'm travelling, and in fact I found a receipt in it, and it was from, it looks like it was from abroad. Yeah, it was from Copenhagen, so I do tend to carry this a lot when I travel. And there's not really much else to say. It's a great size bag. It's got this, again, this pocket here that's got a magnetic popper that you can't see. Again, with like the COS bag, you've got the gold hardware and the zipped compartment, which is particularly important on a backpack when you can't see behind you. It's nice that it's zipped and secure. Again, the pocket's quite deep. Then you have this zipped section here, which is the main compartment, and inside it's really dirty inside, I'm so sorry. It's got ink stains and everything in it. You've got this zipped compartment here, and then you've got the main compartment inside that's lined as well. I've used this bag a hell of a lot. I really like it, and I love the fact that the flap at the front just kind of folds over and gives this quite classic shape for a backpack. This probably started off more as a trend piece in my collection, as backpacks were just starting out and I wasn't really sure if they were actually going to take off or not, but now I think that backpacks are just part of staple everyday sort of handbag collections, if you like. It's not something that's super trendy. If you get a more classic type bag that's not sort of all singing, all dancing, I think it kind of can end up being a staple like it has done for me. So I think it's a nice alternative if you're not into sort of handbags, and for me I think it works really well in terms of travel. So I will link again this down below for you. I think they also have this in kind of like a grey colour. Sometimes, you know, limited edition type of prints come out, like animal print and stuff like that, which is again a little less classic and a bit more trend led, but if that's up your street, then definitely keep a lookout for that. So they are the three product types: backpack, handbag / crossbody, and carry all tote, that is in my capsule handbag collection. For me, I think there's still a couple of pieces that I would like to slot into here, but then again it's like, do I really need them, or is it me just, you know, wanting more bags? One would be an oxblood coloured bag, so I will link a few images for you to see of what I'm having a look at and what I would like. I think The problem with me wanting an oxblood bag is that I'm thinking, is that very much autumn winter type colouring and shade, and I probably wouldn't wear it as much during spring summer, so I'm wondering if it's not very practical. And secondly, maybe a smaller sort of mid-sized tote kind of bag, which I'll link up for you guys to see. That's not as huge but still carries quite a lot of stuff. So there's a few things I'm thinking about, but they would just be additions and things that I would like. It's not essential. I think that this collection here gets me through my day-to-day and beyond. I think it's a good place to start in terms of a bag collection. I think, you know, if you want to whittle it down further, you can take out one of the black crossbodies and it would be a 5-bag collection. And I think if you're, you know, you just need a starting point of where to start in terms of categories for your capsule handbag collection. I hope this has been helpful to kind of show you what I've got and show you what I'm thinking about as types of sort of top-ups and more trend pieces. And also just to remind you to sort of enjoy, you know, the whole process. Make sure that you love everything that's in your collection. Enjoy building it up. Don't be sort of apologetic for what you have. If it's a bit more high end, if it's not high end, don't be embarrassed or apologetic. It's all your personal preference. It's all what you enjoy, as long as you can afford it and you're not going nuts and getting these things in crazy ways. Enjoy it. That's what fashion and style is all about. That's it for this video. I do hope that you enjoyed it. As I said, don't forget to check out the other videos in my capsule wardrobe collection series, and I will see you in my next one. Bye bye.